Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and I'm here with Tom. Where are you, Tom? There you are.
Hi, everybody.
So Tom and I are here for another lunchtime Stampin' Chat. It's lunchtime here in the Midwest. I know everybody's coming in from different time zones, and I would like to welcome everyone from all over the United States and all over the world. I see people coming in from all over Europe, all over the country. It is exciting to have you all here. So today we're going to pick up from where we left off on Monday night, because on Monday night we had made this big mandala card. We're using the new Mandala Maker 2 from the new Eclectic Fun card kit. And we also used the new large Wreath Builder. Well, today I wanted to show you how you can use the Wreath Builder and make a long card. Now, I know a lot of you guys like the 5x7 cards. I'm not going to go that wide today, but I thought it would be fun to show you how you can alter these wreaths to fit things like a Slimline card or a Mini Slimline card. And if you're looking for other videos on how to do this on an A2 size card, make sure you go to my YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, head over to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you're in the right spot. Go to my channel and there are playlists. If you click on the playlist tab on my channel, I have a whole playlist of Wreath Builder videos with everything from stamping on A2 cards to making oval wreaths to doing S patterns, all kinds of cool things that you can do with the Wreath Builder. So make sure you check it out over there. And if you are watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video, and that really helps my channel. So thank you so much for considering that. Welcome to everybody coming in through Facebook and also over on Twitch. We see you, your comments are coming through, and it is great to have you here. Okay, well, let's get started with today's video. So here I have the new large Wreath Builder. Let me zoom out a little bit because I am really tight there. Okay, so here I have the new Wreath Builder. And what I'm going to do today is, last time we used the middle size Wreath Builder template. Today we're going to use the smallest one from the new Wreath Builder. Now remember, these techniques can be used not just for the new large Wreath Builder. They can be used for our Mega Wreath Builder. They can be used for our original Wreath Builder, and they can be used even for the Mini Wreath Builder. So there's lots of different options for different templates and different sizes, but this is the one we're going to use today. So like I said before, just a quick overview. You don't have to use all of the pieces together and stack them together and tape them together. You can just pick the one you want, and we're going to use this one. And I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to tape this Wreath Builder template down. I don't want it to move when I'm working because that will definitely ruin the pattern. So you want the Wreath Builder itself to stay locked in place. So I just use some washi tape for that. And that just keeps everything in place. And you can over tape if you want, like I am here, or you don't need quite as much tape. But I'm always so terrified of it moving that I like to really tape it down. And of course, you can use your washi tape pieces over again if you want to. Okay, so as far as color palette, I'll show you the card that I'm sending out to Donna, who won this card, but I wanted to show it to you one more time. This is the one that we did on Monday night's video. And this I stamped all in black and I colored with colored pencils. Today, to save some time, I'm going to actually stamp in color. And here is a little color palette that I came up with that I thought would be really pretty for fall cards too. So the colors that I chose are right here: Coral Reef, Plum Punch, Fresh Asparagus, and Tranquil Teal. So do you guys like this color palette? Do you think that's a pretty color palette? I think it would be really nice for fall. I also like these deeper colors when I'm doing the Wreath Builder or I'm doing the Mandala Maker, because the lighter pastel colors can get kind of washed out. You don't really see them. But these deeper colors and brighter colors really stand out. especially with the new Mandala Maker, the Mandala Maker 2 that we're going to use today. Let me grab that and show it to you again. And the reason why I like it with this one is because these are line art images. They do have thicker lines, but they are line art images. So you want as much color in those lines as you possibly can. And if you don't have this purple color, you can always substitute for wild lilac. I saw that you said that out there. You can substitute any one of these colors for a different one, but I really like the way this palette looks together. So this is the one we're going to use today. Now, cutting your cardstock for this is a little bit different because we're going to make a long card, right? We're not going to make a square card. So what I have here is I just have 2 card bases. And this card base I cut down to the size of a Slimline card. So this card base actually measures 4 by 9. I believe that's what it is. Let's just check it real quick here on my big paper cutter. So it measures 4 by 9. So basically what this is this is a 9 by 8 inch piece of cardstock scored at 4. And that makes a Slimline card. And this will fit into that number 10 envelope that everybody uses. And there's no extra postage for this. This is kind of what all your bills come in. So there's no extra postage for this. Now for the mini Slimline size, this one is 3 1/4 by 5 and what is that? 6 3/4, 6 1/4. I don't know. Let me see here. We've got 6 1/2, 6 1/4. Okay, so it's 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. And the way you cut that is you cut 6 1/2 by 6 1/4. You turn it back to the 6 1/2 inch line and you score it at 3 1/4. And that's your mini Slimline card. All right, so now we have 2 different ones here. And I'm going to show you how to design a wreath using the Mandala Maker that will fit into these sizes. Okay, so cutting this is a little bit tricky. Now I'm using the smallest template, and you certainly can use your regular Wreath Builder for this as well. What I've done here is I've cut 2 pieces of cardstock. Okay, what you always want to make sure you do is you cut the one piece of cardstock to fit into the template. Okay, so the one side of the cardstock has to fit into the template. So I'm using the 4 3/4 inch template. I've got a piece of cardstock here that measures 4 3/4 across. This is a smaller piece. Here I have the same thing, but it's much longer, 4 3/4, but it's a much longer piece of cardstock. Now to determine the length of the cardstock that I want to cut, what I do is I would take a piece of cardstock like this that's 4 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to end up cutting this with our Slimline die. So I want to make sure that it's just a little bit bigger than the Slimline die. It could even be a little smaller. So let me grab my little paper cutter here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. I'm going to take that piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to cut some of it off there. See that? Just like that. I've got my die in there. I know where my die is going to go to. And I'm just going to cut some of that off. This way I can kind of judge where to place my images. I'm not worried about this size. This has to fit in the template. Okay? But I'll show you how to place your images so you're going to be able to see them in here in just a minute. Now with this one, I did the same thing. I figured out how long this was, and I cut it to be about the same size. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more off. I don't really have a, let me get my big paper cutter. I think that's the best way to do this so that we can do it right. So for my Slimline cards, what I like to do, I have to pull up a little chart here that I saved on my phone. You guys, I have this little chart here. This is a printout from the Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends Facebook group. I uploaded this sizes for Slimline at A2 cards. I will do one for mini Slimlines in the future. But what I like to do for my layers is I like my white layer to be 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches for a mini slimline. So I'm going to take this piece down to, well, if I like it 8.5 inches, then 9 inches is good. And of course, this one has to be 4 3/4 inches to fit in the template. So we don't have to cut anything off of that. All right. Let's start with the mini slimline, since that's what everyone's hot for these days, especially because we have the dies now, and I know a lot of you have these in your possession. So to load this up, you can do it either way, but I think this is the best way to hold your MISTI when you're doing this kind of card design. All right. So we're going to put this piece right here into the template, and I'm going to, oh my gosh, I put my magnet down, and every die that I have just jumped onto the magnet. And I'm going to put my magnet down here just to hold it in place. Now, I'm going to take my mini slimline die, and I'm just going to lay it here. Just maybe I shouldn't put the magnet there, but I'm going to just lay it there in the middle. See, like that. Just so I kind of have an idea of where these images need to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lot of the same images that I used to make this card. Since we already have a little experience with these images, I think that will be fun and easy to do, especially for the mini slimline. So I'm going to start right here with this image, this one right here, and I'm going to make that the top. I was thinking about making this the top, but I think I'll do that for a bigger card. This one I'm going to make the top. So I'm going to put that right around the top of where I would cut the card using this die. So it's at the top and it's in the center. Does that make sense? Okay. So there is our first image that we're going to stamp using this mini slimline idea. Okay. So let's pick that up with the door of the MISTI, and then I can turn it this way to make it easier for you to see, but you don't have to do that. You can leave it the way you had it, you know, in front of you. Sometimes it's just easier to see when it's upright. All right, I'm going to start with Plum Punch because this is such a beautiful, vibrant color. All right, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is whatever I do at the top, I'm going to do at the bottom. So I'm going to flip it around and do the same exact thing here at the bottom. And there really isn't a top or a bottom. It's just how you attach it to the card that's going to determine that. Okay. So you can see now I've got the top and the bottom, and you can see that I'm going to be able to cut that out using my mini slimline die, and that's going to be right where I want it. Okay. All right. So now let's go back to this position again. Put the piece of cardstock back in there. I'm going to clean that stamp and get it off of my MISTI. I have so much stuff on my desk. Do you guys have like everything everywhere where you can't even open your MISTI? That's me. All right. So now we're going to pick another image. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to do something similar to this right here. These two. Okay. So again, I'm going to place my mini slimline die here. Oops. I'm going to move that for now. The magnet's always going to grab the die. So let me just put that in place. And you know, if you have that trouble, take some of this purple tape, because this purple tape is very low tack, and you can hold it down that way too. It's not going to ruin your design at all or your cardstock. And then I'm going to place that die back over there. And then I'm going to pick another image. So again, we'll go back to this same image here. And we're going to put that right there like that. Actually, I'm not going to do this one yet. I'm going to do the other one I'm going to do this one first. This one right here. Okay. So We're going to put that here. I love this image. I know I said it last night, but it looks like a little hot air balloon to me. It's so cute. All right, and we're going to stamp this one in a different color. All right, I'm going to pick that up and we'll get rid of this. So now, again, I'm going to turn it just to make it easier for me. And I'm going to stamp this image using Tranquil Teal. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to go back to my magnet now. Now remember, whatever I do on this side, I'm going to do on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing now and stamp that. Okay. So you kind of get the idea of what's happening, right? Oh, yes, a red onion. It does kind of look like a red onion, Donna. You're right. All right, back to the other position, just so that you guys can see it better. So now we have those. Now I'm going to go with that image that I was talking about, this one right here. And again, I'm going to lay my die down because I want to make sure that I don't go outside of the area that I want here on my card. So we'll do that right there. Make sure that's in the right place, and we'll pick it up with the Misty. Okay, now I'm turning it back again. And remember, if you haven't watched Monday night's video, it's a really good one to watch because once you create a card like this that you like, then you can stamp all these images at the same time in a super easy way. You got to watch that video to see that technique. So I'm using fresh asparagus for this. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it and do the same thing. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back to this position again, and we're going to reposition this one over here. So you can see basically what happens with this is you're not doing a lot of turning, but you're using the template to recreate the mirror image on the opposite side of your card. So I know I got a little ink there, but that shouldn't be a problem because I should be able to stamp right over that. There we go. Okay, doing the same thing on the other side. I know, you know, I think a lot of times wreath building and mandala making can be a little intimidating until you see kind of how easy it is. And then it's like, ooh, I could think of lots of fun cards to make using that. Okay, so now we've got these, and it's okay that they're a little bit off. That's okay. When it's all done, it's going to look beautiful. Okay, so now I want to look because I want to see where my middle section is going to go. I have this die that I want to use on this card, you see, so I'm going to put this in the center here. So now I want to fill in. I still want more things happening here. So let's do something else. Let's pick, let's see here. Wow, there's so many things to pick from. Look at all of these. So what would look really good here? How about this one? Let's do this one. Let's put this one here like this. And then we'll add some other little fun images around it. Okay. Get that in place. And then this one's going to be Coral Reef. Definitely want to get that color in there. go. And I'm going to flip it around again. Oh, the music's nice, Tom. I love when Tom plays music. It just kind of takes all the anxiety out of the world. Very relaxing. Okay, I do want to leave that in there. And now I'm going to move that to the other side here. Move this one down a little bit. Okay. So this one's going to be down a little bit lower like the other one, but it will be even top and bottom. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Now, let's add some dots, shall we? So the fun thing about this is if you don't want to use the Misty, you can also use acrylic blocks for some of these images. So we can add some little dots in here. So let's add a black dot above here and a black dot above here. Let's add a black dot up here. We'll do the same thing down here. There we go. Okay. What else did Rena put in here? It's just fun to play with all of these images. But I do want to see where this is going to fall now. So this is going to, we might want to stop there. Let's just see how that looks. Look what I just did. Oh no! Well, it is Wednesday. So let's get the mono sand eraser out and get rid of that. So the mono sand eraser is like my best friend because it saves so many cards for me. It absolutely does the trick. It gets it nice enough that you don't have to worry. The trick with the mono sand eraser is don't just go in one direction. You got to go in one direction and then you got to go in the opposite direction. And it definitely works better that way. Whew. Okay. This is why I need an ink stand for everything. Even when I'm working on the thing, I need an ink stand. All right. I feel like I want another dot in there at the bottom of this one and the bottom of this one. So now I'm scared to touch the black, but I'm going to do it. Okay. One here. Put one here. Okay. So let's cut it out and see how it looks once we get that middle panel going across. So I feel like a good color for this would be Coral Reef because we haven't really used Coral Reef very much in any of our cards. And it's a beautiful color. And is that one of the colors from the kits? The kit? I believe it is. Oh, no, it's tangerine in the kit. Well, we could use the purple. But let's go with the Coral Reef for today. All right, so we're going to cut this down for a mini slimline, which means we're going to cut it 6.5 inches. By 6 and did I cut that 6.5? 6.5 by 6 1/4. I think that goes right to the end here. It's the one measurement I need and the one that's missing because of the line. And we're going to score it. So this is the 6 1/4 side. We're going to turn it to the 6.5 inch side and we're going to score it at 3 1/4. Okay. So there's the mini slimline size. All right, now we're going to cut this out using the slimline die. And then after this, we're going to make a big one. We're going to make a big slimline card. Okay. So we'll cut this out. I went a little over with my dots, but that's okay. I think it's still going to work. So we're going to cut this out using the smaller of the two dies, the stitched one. Go. And then we're going to cut a black panel. I know. Everything I do, I have some black in it. We're going to cut a black panel out of the larger die. I'll put that off to the side there because we can use this as well. Okay. We'll layer those two together. And then that's going to go onto the coral reef card base, like that. Now we're going to need a panel going across. So I'm going to choose coral reef for that as well, because I think that that will just line everything up, make it consistent. So let's do that. We'll go across with a piece of coral reef. And the stitching will line up perfectly because I'm using, once again, the Slimline die set. And that was designed to perfectly match everything. So we're going to go across the center with that. Okay. So now I'm going to cut out two circles. I'm going to cut out these two tiny circles that come in this same set. I'm going to cut this one out in black. This is the plain one. And then I'm going to stamp once again using the incentive set. And I think I told you guys on release party night that we designed this incentive set to work with the Mandala Maker. Since the Mandala Maker does not have any greetings of its own in this set, we wanted to make sure that we had something that would fit with the small circle in that slimline die. So let me find that little set. I have it out here somewhere. Here it is. And I need a white piece of cardstock. Let's zoom in just a little bit here so we can do this together. Now I have some white cardstock here. So I think last night I did You Make Me a Better Person. These should all fit. You deserve the very best. I love my life with you. You are truly my best friend. So very thankful for you. Happy birthday to you. Let's do happy birthday to you because I can always use a birthday card. And I like this mini slimline size as a money mailer. So if you're going to send a check to somebody or you're going to send some cash, hand somebody some cash, it's a really nice size for that. So let me get my black onyx ink pad. Well, I could use the cube. Let me use the cube. Let's see, this is the first time stamping this one. So sometimes, you know, you need to ink it up more than once to get a good impression. We'll see how this looks. Oh, that looks great. All right, we didn't need, we didn't need it. I think it's my ink cube that's all inky. I gotta clean my cubes. Do you guys clean around the perimeters of your ink pads and ink cubes on a regular basis? I don't either. So trying to back out a little bit here, but that's the wrong way. I don't either, and I should, because that's what gets all over your hands is when you touch the ink. Okay, so now we'll cut this out using this tiny circle die. This is a great die. I love this little circle. we really needed a little circle like this for small greetings. It's just perfect. Birthday to you. All right, and then we're gonna cut a plain black one. Oh, we already did that, so I think that will look really nice. Perfect. Okay. And that will look really nice together. And then this fits perfectly in the center here, and then we'll add a few little rhinestones. So let's go ahead and put that together, and then we'll start on our regular slimline one. And I'm going to show you the regular slimline one. I think maybe I should crack open the other Wreath Builder. Would you guys like to see the original Wreath Builder in action too?
Good idea.
Yeah? Because I know a lot of people have that, and they might be thinking, well, I'd like to be able to use that one too for this. So I'll show you how to modify it for that. Ooh, that's hard to see against gray, but okay. Get this on there. Just want to make sure we line it up well. Get the stitches lined up. Come on, Gina. You can do it. And then we could do this a couple ways. We could attach these together and then pop them up to give it a little more texture. We could pop it up right there. Let's do that. That will be nice. I'm going to use a black foam square for that. I might need two. We'll see. But I love how you get all the stitching together on this. And then we'll put this whole thing onto my coral reef card base. That'll bring it all together. Okay. There we go. So there's a cute little slimline card. Perfect for money or a check. Ready to go. And I'll add a few rhinestones in there too. I think some rhinestones to kind of attach things together are always nice. I did that in the other card where I put rhinestones around the perimeter. Okay, so let's get the other Wreath Builder template because I definitely want to show you guys how to use that as well. Here we go. Because I know you guys now have seen this one in action, but maybe you want to try doing something with the original Wreath Builder for a slimline. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Okay. So the original Wreath Builder has two different size templates. It's got the 4 and the 3 3/4. And since we're doing a card that measures, what are we doing? A 3. Sorry about that. I gotta get my. So we want to go smaller. We want to go about 3.5 inches here. So let's use the 3 3/4 inch template. And that's this one. And we're going to tape this into the MISTI with some washi tape. So we'll use the same colors again, just to kind of have some consistency with the way these cards look. I don't know. I kind of like the autumn theme of these. All right. So now we're going to have to cut this down because remember, we cut this originally to match the bigger template. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut it down to 3 3/4 inch. There we go. So now it doesn't matter how long that card is, it can be super long, but as long as it fits in the top of the template, we are good. Okay? So let's create a similar pattern as we did before, but this time we're going to turn it a bit. Okay? We're going to turn it, and that's okay. We want to turn it this time because I want to give you all the different options for making these kinds of cards. So we'll start again, but let's start at the top with this crown because I think this crown is so pretty. So we want that to be at the very top. I've been dying to use this image. Okay. So we're going to put the crown at the top, and we'll do, let's go with the Plum Punch. So we're starting with the crown. This is such a cool image. Just really finishes off the top of the card. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And now remember, whatever we do at the top, we've got to do at the bottom. Okay. And we'll stamp that at the bottom. I'll clean that off. And now we're going to add an image underneath that. So now we can go with this image here and get that loaded in. Okay. And now we'll stamp this one in Tranquil Teal. But now we're going to turn it to this panel. Just turn my Tranquil Teal ink over. Let's see how this works. Ooh, we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. Should we do it here? Let's see how this works. No. All right, we're going to not do that. We are not going to do that. Okay, we're going to do something completely different. Let's go with this image underneath. We can make it touch. There, okay. All right, so let's do this image in Fresh Asparagus. Oh, that's pretty. I feel like I need a cocktail. Did you guys see what I just did? This is a perfect learning opportunity. Remember when I said you always do on the top what you do on the bottom? But I didn't flip it over. Are you guys yelling at me? Yes, thank God you're yelling at me. Forgot to do the bottom. Okay, so this is a great learning opportunity. What happens when you screw up? Because I screwed up so many times where I was actually stamping a full ring going around and I missed one. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to line that up? But all you have to do is go back to your original spot and lay it right back over the original spot. Like that. And you can pick it up on the door again. Then we can flip it around and we're going to be okay. Whew, that was scary. Honestly, I think I'm much more awake when I do my nighttime lives than I am when I do my daytime lives. I'm a night owl. Are you guys night owls or day owls? There's no such thing as a day owl. So now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to reposition that green image and then we'll stamp it on the bottom. Oh my goodness. How funny. I feel like on a nighttime live, I wouldn't have done that, but you never know. That might be presumptuous to think. I've made plenty of mistakes at night. But obviously 1 cup of coffee. You thought I was going to do something different, Cheryl, at the bottom? I almost did do something different at the bottom. Okay. Oh my goodness. That is really funny. All right, so now what should we do? Let's do something like this. This is, I like these images because there's a left and a right. So let's do that, and we'll get the other one, and we'll line it up like that. It's sticking to me. There we go. Okay, so we've got the left and the right curly Q. I just have to make sure they look good. And then I look in the screen and they don't look perfect, but let's try it. Okay. So for this one, I'm actually going to do Tranquil Teal again. And the reason I'm doing Tranquil Teal again is because it's touching this image. And I feel like it will blend in a little better if it's not a different color. So let's do this. This is all about playing and just having some fun with these images. And seeing what you can come up with. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? So flowy. All right, now I'm going to flip it and do the other side because I don't want to forget. Okay, who remembers that song that Tom is playing right now? Okay, what's that from? Anybody remember what that's from? See if anybody remembers. I don't think they do, Tom. I don't think they remember. Right. So let's see what else we can do here. Oh, there's this image too, which is really fun. Let's do these two. We'll see how this looks.
That was our first little intro, Stamp TV, right?
That's right. That was our first little intro. Are these the same size? I think they are. This one won't let go of me. Loves me. Okay. I'm so glad Rena put these left and rights. These are really fun for these kinds of slimline cards. You guys like that? Oh yes, somebody recognized the song you were just playing, Tom. As the anniversary song, right? That's right. Yeah, Tom wrote this song for me. I don't know if you guys knew that story, but Tom wrote me an anniversary song, and it's actually on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to use fresh asparagus for this again because this is coming off of these two right here. And so I went to bed that night and I woke up and my phone was dinging. And I'm like, what is happening? Who's trying to get a hold of me? And it was all notifications from YouTube. People making comments like, oh, I love this. This is so cool. Oh, that's cool. This is so cool. I love it. And I was like, what are they loving? I didn't post anything. I thought, oh my goodness, did I get hacked? And it was actually after I went to bed, Tom uploaded this anniversary song that he wrote for me onto my YouTube channel, which was the sweetest thing ever, really. Ooh, that's cool, isn't it? So I think I'll do a big wide bar going across. But I think we need to add some coral reef in there. So let's do that next. Got lots of people here for a lunchtime live. It's great to see all you guys. So let's take a little floral image. There's so many of them to choose from, but let's pick something that's nice and bold, like even this one right here. This one's nice and bold, and it's very easy to line up. So what we'll do is we'll attach it right here to the end of that image. Okay. Like that. And we'll do that one in coral reef. turn it around and it should line up. I'm gonna hope for the best, but it should line up. Yep. Okay. Then we're gonna put it right on the other side. That should work right there. Now here's a little trick. If you want to see if it's going to line up and you want to see that it's going to look good, take a little piece of acetate first. Make sure there's no ink on it. Take a little piece of acetate first, ink up your stamp and stamp it. If that looks good to you, then you can take the acetate away and you can stamp it. If it doesn't look good to you, you can reposition it. So I think that looks pretty good. Do the same thing on the other side. I think that little touch of coral reef in there is good, and we should do a coral reef card base for it because then that just kind of brings out that little accent piece. And let's fill in one more little thing here. Let's go with a dot. Let's put a dot in the center up here. Ooh, a dot in the center. That's really scary. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try. But I'm going to do the acetate trick first. Make sure it looks good. So let's do the acetate. And see if that looks centered enough. Does that look centered enough to you guys? I know it kind of looks like an eyeball, but I think it's not perfectly centered. So I'm going to move it. Kind of gives her a little eye looking at us. And if I can't do it this time, if it doesn't look good, I might color it in a coral reef just to match. Because I feel like I want that color up there. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, so we'll add that. Turn it.
And the name of that stamp set again?
This is the Mandala Maker 2. This is the second in a series that Rena has designed for us, and it's in the kit. So you get this in the kit with that original Wreath Builder. Okay, so now we're going to trim this down because this has to go down to 3 1/4 inches. I think that's the size we wanted to do. 3 1/2. All right, so we're going to take this down to 3 1/2 inches. So we're going to do it by cutting a little bit off of each side. Okay, so it's 3 3/4 inches now. We're going to take 1/8 of an inch off one side. And then we're going to flip it and go to the 3 1/2. Okay. And now it's going to be 8 1/2 inches long. So right now it's 9. We'll do 1/4 inch off each end. 1/4 there and 1/4 there. Okay. So now we have our panel for our Slimline. No, Connie, you don't need a subscription. You can just buy kits when you like them, and you don't have to buy kits that you don't like. So we just sell them. They are very limited. This kit is really selling much more quickly than I anticipated. I always try to get it to last at least 2 weeks, you know. Did I forget to stamp the bottom? No, I didn't this time. I did stamp the little eye in the center there on the bottom. You scared me. Okay, so now this piece is going to be 3 5/8 by 8 5/8. So we're going to start 3 1/2. We'll go up to the 3 5/8 mark. I know a lot of people want me to do these slimline dies like this, the big size slimlines. And I'm thinking about it. I'm also thinking about the 5 by 7s. It's a lot of metal though, so I'm just a little bit worried about the price. I don't like to price people out of being able to get things that they like. Okay, so there we go. Now I want to do a nice big chunk in the middle. So I'm going to do something that's like 1, 2, 2.5 inches. Okay, so let's get a piece of white cardstock, and we're going to cut let's do 2 1/4 inches to start and see how that looks. We'll do 2 1/4 inches. We'll see what that looks like going across. I kind of want to cover that a little bit, so I want to go a little bit bigger. Let's go to the 2 1/2. I never mind cutting strips of cardstock because I use them for other things, so I don't worry about it. Yeah, something like that. Maybe even bigger. Let's go up even a little bigger. Let's go to 2 3/4 inch. See, these strips, these are all circles that I'll cut out and words, and so I don't worry about it. 2 3/4 inch because I want to cover the ends there. I just want to make it look like a tube. Okay, so we'll do that, and we will make it 3 1/2 inches wide. Then we're going to do a black panel for it. And that will be, this is 2 1/4, so it's going to be 2 7/8. That's 2 3/4, so 2 7/8. Again by the 3 1/2. And that's, yes.
Can you explain when the kit has run its course, what you do with the items, individual items in the kit?
Sure. So what happens is when a kit retires, then it goes into our regular inventory. So for those of you that maybe decided, oh, well, I don't want the whole kit, after the next kit debuts or the next bundle debuts, then this whole kit will go into inventory, but as separate components. So you can buy just the Mandala Maker, just the Wreath Builder, just the stained glass flowers. You can, buy them that way. And that's really nice. What's nice about that is, some of you just want certain components. But I will say that if you are thinking at all of getting this kit, the value is really unbelievable. It's just such a good value because the kit is valued at $125 and you get the kit for $59.95. So, I would just consider that. So now I want to do something in here to make this a little bit more textured. And so there's lots of different things that we can do. We can stencil to give it a little textured look. That's always a good option. We can also use bits and pieces of the Mandala Maker to create a pattern in there, which is fun too. And maybe we'll do that just because we've got the Mandala Maker here and it's just another fun way to use it. So let's do that, and let's use some of these complementary images. So we'll use this image again. But let's use something big first. Like we could put some flowers in there like this. Let's use this one. I think this is a really pretty image. Oh, so is this one though. It's so hard to choose. This is kind of cool, but we're going to cover it with a big greeting, so I don't think that we need to. Let's do this flower. All right, so I'm going to use Tranquil Teal. I'm going to use my big ink pad for this. going to just randomly stamp this flower. Well, I'll just stamp that over. We'll start here. You have to ink it up a little bit. Remember, this is the very first, I just took this flower out of the package, so it's the very first time I'm stamping it. And we'll see how this looks. And if we don't like it when it's done, I'll save it for another Slimline card, maybe a floral one. And maybe I'll do some stenciling. We have time. We're not on any time limit today. We've got all the time in the world. My daytime lives always seem to go over too. I don't know why. The lunchtime lives. Probably because I'm still half asleep, so I'm not operating at the same rate of speed. So we'll use Coral Reef for this one. This is a smaller image, so I'm going to turn as I go. This Mandala Maker is also really awesome for creating your own pattern papers, because I know a lot of you guys like to create your own coordinating pattern papers, and these little bits and pieces kinds of stamps are perfect for that. So let's go with a dot now, and we'll do some Plum Punch. You like the longer lives? That's awesome. Thank you. I got some good news about the Packers today. I don't know if you guys heard, but Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Whew, I was really stressing that one. I know all my Chicago fans just left all at once, and all my Minnesota fans, all my friends from those areas just clicked, unsubscribed, reported my channel for abuse. So now I'm going to use this tiny dot. I'm going to add fresh asparagus just because I want to have all the colors in there. Oh my goodness. I didn't think he was going to stay, personally. I thought he was gone. Oh, I like this little pattern. Don't you just want to do this? These little dots? It's so fun. Okay, I like to go a little bit like outside too, you know, just so that it looks like you actually cut it from a piece of paper. Ooh, you know what we could do? Let's do this too, because this will be fun. Let's add a little dot of Coral Reef into the center of each of these flowers. All right, that's crazy. They don't have to be perfect. I'm making them imperfect on purpose. Well, that one's perfect, but I'm trying to, so this way, you know, you don't have to stress if they're not perfect, if they're all imperfect. There we go.
Jeanette wanted him to be host of Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was so fun. I think he probably liked that more than playing football. I don't know why I think that, but I think it was probably a super fun experience for him. All right. So what do you guys think? Now, remember, most of this is going to get covered up. Do you like that? Or is that just too much? Remember, we're going to cover it. We're going to put a big greeting on there. I have to find a big greeting. I think I'm going to use this greeting from the kit. Our friendship is magic. I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to do it on an oval so that it extends out. Wait, who's saying no? Make it smaller? Yeah, but I want to cover how these aren't perfectly even. So, all right, so what I'll do is I'm going to do one more thing, because why not? Tom, you don't mind, right? You don't mind being here. This is like our safe place. Just stay here forever. But I keep losing things. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing, and then we can decide together, all right? So I'm going to cut this 3.5 inches. 2 3/4. Okay, so that's the same size as that, right? No, is that close? It's pretty close. Okay, so let's try stenciling a little bit because you can never go wrong with stencils, and we'll see if that looks a little bit better. So I'm going to pick kind of a simple stencil. Let's see. What should I pick? Give me a second. I'm digging through all my stencils here. Keep playing music, Tom. Oh, I have so many stencils here I'm going through. This would be really pretty. That's the ornamental fan. So let's try this. And we'll do something really subtle with it. I also think that an embossing folder would probably be the bomb for this. And the thing that we probably should use. But let's go ahead and do a little stenciling. Let's go with, I don't even have a brush for this. I need one more brush. Let's try, I'm just cleaning this brush. Let's try some Plum Punch. Shall we? Okay, I'm using this purple brush. And we'll use a little Plum Punch. I'm designing out loud, it's true. Now I'm going to start heavy in the middle, but remember, I'm going to cover it with a die, so I'm not worried too much about the middle. And then I'm going to get lighter as I go toward the edges. Just hear me out on this one. I know it still has my paper on it, but guys like that better? No. I think you guys are right. I think we gotta just go with embossing. So let's just emboss. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna emboss it and we're gonna be done with it. That's what we're gonna do. I agree. You guys are always right. Sometimes I don't agree and then I kick myself later. So let me get a piece of cardstock here and we'll go one last time. 2 3/4 by 3.5. And you know what I'm going to do. And you guys are going to be like, yes, that's perfect. That's what we should have done to begin with. And you wasted our time. We're going to use my favorite embossing folder, which is, yeah, no, I agree. You don't have to be sorry if you say it's too busy. That's why we're all in this together. I'm going to use my favorite embossing folder if I can find it. Oh, where'd that go? I don't know if I have that anymore. Why wouldn't I have that? So, Tom, do you know where my embossing folder went? To look in every drawer. All right. Well, I will use a different embossing folder. I'll use this floral one.
Let me go get one.
No, they don't make it anymore. I'm going to use this floral one by Darice. Just want to give it a little texture, that's all. I'm not even going to fight with it. And most of it's going to get covered anyway by my greeting, but Tom is so nice. Do you want me to go get one? So there, it's got that texture in there. Just a little texture. Yep, I like it. I like it. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And look what I just found. I should give up. I should just quit right now. Thank you and good night. Okay, so let's pick a die to cut this with. So I'm going to use my ovals for this greeting. And oh, I put so many things on the table now that I completely lost the stamp set. Here it is. So I think that this will work really nicely with this smaller oval. So why don't we stamp this? Our friendship is magic. I love that saying. Don't you love that saying? Isn't that so true? Don't you have those friends that are just magical? We're back. We froze up for a second. I have not stamped this one yet, so you guys are still here with me. I'm going to stamp it once, and then I might have to stamp it again. I think I'm going to have to, yes. So I'll stamp it on the other side. I always stamp things a couple of times when I take them right out of the package. Okay. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to cut this using the ovals. Here we go again. We didn't have one glitch last time, so I don't know. We get them now and then. Nothing you can do but just go with the flow. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this like this, and then I'm going to add a little something that matches the mandala down there, down at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Just don't leave if that happens, because we can get it back, and we will come right back. Just hang in there. It doesn't completely shut down the live. It just shuts down our cameras for a second when that happens. Now I'm going to cut this black one. This is the single stitched oval, the coordinating oval. Oh, Sharon, you have a friend that you've had for over 60 years. That's so awesome. I love to hear of those friendships that have been together that long. It's so nice. Those people that you can count on no matter what. I always say you're very blessed if you have one good friend than a million acquaintances. Okay, I'm going to assemble this, and then the last thing we're going to need is a card base. So let's assemble this together. Okay. You met your best friend in preschool? Oh my goodness, how sweet is that? I have some pretty good friends, but I haven't known them my whole life. But that doesn't matter either, because sometimes you meet some of your best friends later in life. So there's all different ways to find a friendship. Okay. Here we
So
go.
Gina, Jan wants to know if the gnome kit will be available from Thermoweb again this year. Do you know that?
I might know that. I might know that, but I don't know if I can actually say it. But if I don't say it, does that help?
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. I'm just going to trim a little of this off the side, like a hair, because I feel like I made it a little too thick. There's a possibility, a very good possibility. How's that? Is anybody excited? That possibility? All right, yes. I'm gonna layer this together. I really like this card. This is fun. Okay, and now I'm gonna layer these two together. There's my bad one on the back. Friendship is magic. And then I need to put one element right here. Oh, I love the way that just lays right in there between them. I need one element right here to kind of bring it all together. What if I did one of these just going across like a little stem in Tranquil Teal? Let's do it. Although there's this cute little image. That cute little image. Let's do that one. And we'll do it in Tranquil Teal. Or we could do it in Coral Reef, since I'm going to use a Coral Reef card base. We'll do it in Coral Reef. That'll bring it all together. There we go. Okay. And now all I have to do is cut that Coral Reef card base. Let's cut that now. I almost had a heart attack and thought that I didn't have Coral Reef here. So this card base.
It's in the building.
Coral Reef? Yeah, but you'd have to like run all the way across the building, and that wouldn't be nice. So we need to cut a an 8x9. So we want this to be 9. And we want this to be 8. And then we're going to score that. I have my big score dude here. We're going to score this at 4. These Slimline cards are so big. I don't know which one I like more. I think right now I'm leaning toward the Mini Slimline cards as being a little bit more fun for me to make. Maybe it's because it's like it's not so big and intimidating, but we have so many big flower sets and stuff that really does lend itself well to a regular Slimline card. This is so big, it's hard to like get it all in the scene. And let's pop these up with some black foam squares. Do 2 there and 2 there. Oh my goodness. Let go of me. There we go. Okay. We'll get that kind of even top and bottom. There we go. So there is our big Slimline and our tiny little Slimline. Kind of fun. Oh my gosh, how wide out do I have to go to get these in the picture? There we go. You're going to see all the mess everywhere. Okay, so there are those finished cards. That was really fun. I had a good time. You know, this image here, if you go back to the overhead one more time, Tom, this image here, this die cut piece would also be really pretty if we had embossed it with an embossing folder first to give it a little more texture. I think that would have been fun. I like the way that texture looks in there. So you guys were all correct. The texture was the way to go. This was way too busy, but still fun to make, and definitely can use it for another card project down the line. All right. Well, you guys, this was so much fun. Sorry we went 15 minutes over, but you know, sometimes you just have to have fun and play and try different things. All right. Well, we will be back next Monday night with another card kit card. Maybe we'll use one of the other stamp sets from our release too. We have so many beautiful stamp sets that were released. We've already done so many cards using this kit. I can't believe it. And it's only been out for what, like a week and a half, maybe a week and a day. So if you don't have the card kit yet and you want it, you can head over to GinaKDesigns.com, click on the shop tab and the what's new. They are getting very limited.
You're going to give it away?
Yeah, let's give these cards away.
All right.
All right.
2.
Wait, I want to see you too, Tom.
All right.
Okay. Yay, there he is.
Okay.
Hey, put the cards up so they can see the cards, and put me in another box too. I like that. There we go. You can see the cards there. Okay. All right. There we are.
Okay.
So we've got winners.
Okay. The first card, and this is the
Mini
Slimline.
Okay, Mini Slimline.
Let's see. That goes to Robin Sam's Lutker.
Yay! Congratulations, Robin. That's awesome.
And the second card will go to Ree Shear Donnelly.
Hey, Ree, congratulations. Yay. That's so fun. Oh, that's great. Well, for our winners, all you have to do is send your name and your mailing address to info@ginakdesigns.com and let them know that you either won the Mini Slimline or the regular Slimline card from today's video, and I will make sure that I get those mailed right out to you. And Donna, your card is coming too. I've got your card right here. I just needed it for today to show everybody some of the images. So, all right, you guys. Well, we will be back on Monday night with another video for you. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.